Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and happy May the 30th. And it's Friday. We made it. So, today we're just going to talk about religion. And do I have to have a certain religion to just worship God and really be where I need to be, where He wants me to be with Him, right? So, let's dive into it. Because that was something that I was struggling with when I first started, like just walking in faith completely. Like, okay, what religion am I? Because I grew up as, of course, a Christian Baptist, and then it was like, am I Pentecostal? I feel like I'm leaning more towards that. And it was just like all these different things in my head. I remember every once in a while I would think about Jehovah's Witnesses, and I'm like, because I was in a relationship, married to someone whose family practiced the faith of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I remember some of the things that they said, and it would just be like, just going in my head with all these different things. Of course, I don't practice the beliefs of a Jehovah's Witness. I'm like far from their practices, but I just remember that going in my head as I was in a lot of other different religions and in their teachings, and I'm like, well, no, I have a friend, my which I share a lot. My best friend is a Catholic, and a lot of the things that we share with each other, we believe very, very, very similar. It's just they're a little bit more, I guess you can say, quote unquote, stricter about things, like really more, this is the way that it needs to be done, just like this. This is the way it needs to look, and this is how many times you need to do this a day, and all of those things, right? But it's basically when we would come together and just worship and fellowship together and talk about the word, it's a lot of things line up together. And it's even been things that I have taken from the Catholic beliefs and just applied them to my everyday life, because, like I said, they're a little bit more stricter and in their faith, and for me, it's a little bit more organized or whatever, some of the things that they do. And right now, the stage in my life, I kind of just need the structure to stay on task. So I wanted to talk about that because I think it's very important for people who start, that are new, beginners with this walk with Christ, and just a lot of things can be so confusing when you first start, and you can just kind of be all over the place because you're getting so much information from so many different people. And I wanted to talk about it. And this is what I want to start out with. It is very important to make sure you start building your relationship with God, not people at the church, not pastors, not bishops, not prophets, not any of those people, right? The most important thing to do is build our relationship with God. And it will give us a lot of clarification on what we may think, what other people may tell us, instead of us just saying, I'm getting so much information from different people, I don't know which direction to go in. If you're building that relationship with Him, Himself, and just using other people to give you guidance and maybe just draw you closer to Him, right? It will definitely sharpen your lens to what it should look like. So it's very important to make sure that our ultimate goal as we walk, as we take our journey, let's say that with Christ, is that we're building with a relationship with Him. And the way that we do that is sitting with Him, right? Sitting with God, spending that time with Him, praying, reading your Bible, just time with just you and God, no one else. And I know for me, one of the important things that I had to do was stop talking to Him so much and allowing Him to talk to me. And what I mean by that is even praying, and just always having my mouth going when it came to him. And I had to learn to just sit in silence, especially those who are yearning for that connection where you can actually hear him for yourself, like hear God and just be able to hear him, hear what he's saying, like literally learn his voice and learn what he's saying. You have to be able to sit in complete silence and figure out your routine that works for you when it comes to that intimate connection with God, right? That was something that was very important. And then just learning who he is and learning how it looks, a very important thing. And knowing that as you keep walking, you're not going to do this thing perfectly. That was something else with me that I also had to learn, because it's like in my head, and I know this is building a relationship with God. You know how you first start doing anything, you're just so eager to do it and spend the time and get everything right. You don't want to mess up anything. So you're constantly doubting, like, am I doing this right? Is this the way that he wants me to do it? Am I giving him enough time? Is this the way that I should be praying? Is this how long I should be praying? Can I wear this? Can I do this? Should I be talking to this person? How should this look? Like, all of these things are going through your head. And you're like, am I disappointing God? Did I do that right? Did he really tell me to do that? Or did I do that on my own? Like, all of those questions are things that go through your head when you're first starting your journey, and just like, I don't want to mess up anything. I don't want to mess up anything. Please, I don't want to disappoint God. Please just give me the tools to do everything right. Like, this is everything that I have went through, and some of them I still go through to this day. And I have to like let myself know, Camila, you're not going to disappoint him. And I just struggled with this here lately. Not even like, I think it's literally been this week, and I had to and speak with my spiritual counselor about it, because I just don't want to disappoint him. And as he gives me more tools and just open up my eyes to so many different things, it's just kind of like, did I do this right? Or did I fail him? Or, all of those things. So, and I think it's just so important to know that he's not expecting perfection from us. Under any circumstances, he's not expecting perfection from us. What he wants us to do is read his word, study his word, apply his word. The more we study, the more we read, study, apply, the more our strength will grow in him, and the better we will get at it. But we will never get perfect at it. This will always be lessons, right? This will always be more learning, and more learning. So he's not expecting us to be perfect, but we just have to make sure that we are applying him to our everyday life and being intentional, seeking him first and not people that we think are of him, right? That's of him. Like, we're seeking him first. And yes, he does give us people to counsel with and get the word that can help us grow in the word. But at the end of the day, they should always be leading us back to him. And what I mean by that, if you have someone that you feel like God has led you to help you grow, they should always be telling you to seek God with anything that they're giving you for your clarification, right? So it just shouldn't be, this is the way that you're supposed to do it and there's no other way. They should always be telling you to seek God. They can give you the counsel, give you the advice, but at the end of the day, go to God with it. Learning who God is. The most important way that you can do that is, again, by seeking God. And I hope that you guys realize my pattern, like you guys are catching it. My pattern is Go to God, seek God, sit with God, pray to God, ask God for clarity. So at the end of the day, the most important thing is the relationship that we're developing with God, not the relationship that we're developing with other people, like not even God's people. Should we be developing a relationship with them? Yes. But should that be the most important relationship that we develop? No. The relationship with him himself is the most important one that we should be developing. Everyone is teachable when it comes to this journey. Everyone, no one is exempt from it, because a lot of people, I remember when I first started my walk, certain people would be, I don't know if it was intimidation or if they would just be in their feelings with my journey, and they would say, well, I've always read the Bible, I know the Bible, I know how to pray, I know God, and they would be so defensive. A few people, and I'm not competing with anyone when it comes to my journey. And I ask a lot of questions. I ask everybody questions, because I am not I don't know everything about this. I don't know everything, but I am someone who loves to do research about things that I'm passionate about. So I jumped head, I dived in head first when it came to my journey with God, right? So a lot of things that a lot of people may have known that's been walking in faith in their, since they were kids, reading the Bible and things like that. And just, I have learned them over these last few months, year and a half or whatnot, because of how passionate I am with it, and because it's always been something that's in me. But we have to just know where our relationship is with God. It's not a religion thing. God is not religion. It's about the relationship and the connection that you have with him. That's what it's about. It's not about religion. Live under the freedom of God. That's what we should be doing. Do what is right by God. Ask God to show you what is needed for you, like with your journey with him, like what's needed. And I say that a lot too, because I want everybody to know this. Listen, everybody's relationship with him look different. It's not going to look like everyone else. Like everybody's let me see. And I try to be very mindful about how I word things. But then as I grow spiritually in the people that God has placed me to watch and get teaching from, I am now knowing, be who you are, Camila. Because your journey with God looks totally different than the next person's. And some people can judge you for the way that you may talk or the way that you may present stuff, but other people may need it done the way that you do it. And it's this young lady that I watch on YouTube, Bold for Christ. And her teaching is so similar to me and my personality. And at first I was in this shoebox because of some of the things that people would say, right? Oh, you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do that, or you shouldn't wear this, and you shouldn't look like this. And it's like, okay, so I need to change this up. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then as I was watching, and y'all really, well, I'm not going to say that y'all need to go check her out, because one thing that I have learned is, again, your journey with God looks different for everyone, right? And Bold for Christ is someone that God led me to. I didn't take myself to her videos. God led me there. And she's definitely not for everyone, just like I'm not for everyone. But if you're watching my content and I really connect with you, she is someone that you definitely need to see if it's a connection. But if it's not, don't watch her. Just like with me, if I'm someone who doesn't resonate with you and you're like, oh no, I don't like the way don't watch. I don't care if you know me, don't watch my content. But that's why we have, let's dive in here too. That's why we have so many churches all around. That's why it's so many different ways that we can get the word, we can get the knowledge, because everybody is going to take things differently. Everyone is going to need different styles of teaching. So don't knock someone else for their teaching, right? Because again, or knock someone for the way that they say stuff, or who people want to watch, or the church that they want to go to. And it's just ridiculous of how judgmental we can be when it comes to this whole thing. We can be very judgmental, and that's not okay, because that's a sin. Stop being judgmental. Like, I can't be mad if someone watches my content and chooses to stop subscribing because they're like, I don't think I'm feeling her. Or watch my TikTok and say things about what I'm saying. I cannot be offended and then I see that they like somebody else's content. Everybody has different ways that they learn, and not just with religion in general, and different ways that they want to get the problem solved for themselves. Like when you're 2 plus 2 is 4, or 2 plus 2 equals 4, however you want to say it, but there's so many different ways that we can get the number 4. It doesn't just have to be 2 plus 2, right? We can do 1 4 times. We can do 4 plus 0. It's just so many different ways that we can come up with the number 4. 8 minus 4 equals 4. So at the end of the day, if I say, I need you to give me a formula that would equal 4, it doesn't matter how you get the number 4. It's about getting the number 4. And that's the same thing with religion. So it's not about religion. It's about the beliefs, and it's about your spiritual journey, your growth, sitting with God. That's what it is about, your relationship with God. Everybody is teachable. Stop feeling like that you know more than the next person. That's something else that's like really frustrating. If you are someone who's been in faith your whole life, you can learn from somebody who's new in faith. If you are a pastor, you can learn from someone who's not a pastor. If you're a bishop, you can learn from someone who's not a bishop. And it's okay. We can all learn from each other. And I think that's something else that's just so important. We can all learn from each other. Pray. Everybody pray. Build their relationship of prayer. Be very intentional with your praying. Like, make sure that you are praying, and that you're praying for what you need, and not just saying like a general prayer. Like, God, I want happiness. What does happiness look like to you? Tell God what that looks like. God, I really seek a relationship with you so I can have happiness. Please show me, what does it look like to have a relationship with you, so I can get the happiness and get the joy that I need. Or I want my family, I want my family to be better. What does that look like for you? God, please grow my family in faith, where we're praying together. Draw us closer together, where we're actually able to sit in the room and be around each other. Draw us closer. God, that, just be very intentional about what you want, and not just giving a broad statement. Just be very intentional. Be very intentional with breaking it down on what it looks like for you, for what you want. And don't let nobody tell you what it should look like. Don't let nobody tell you what it should look like but God. Nobody but Him. And remember, He's forgiving. God is a forgiving God. God is a forgiving God. So if you fall off of the horse, jump back on and keep going. Repent and keep going. Don't let nobody tell you and don't let nobody tell you that, oh, well, you did XYZ. God is on. How are you someone of God? And that's what I said on my last video. The way that I may dress, the way that I talk, I may not look like a woman of Christ, but I definitely put him first in my life, regardless of what other people may see, regardless of what other people may think. I do have tattoos. I do have a nose piercing. I don't wear it anymore. I do have 2 children. Both of them was created when I was not married. Yes, I'm not perfect. I have made mistakes. I have done things that I am not happy about. And I'm not just saying I do stuff that I question and that I know that I should not have done every day. I do. I'm not perfect. We're all sinners. So just know that God is always forgiving us. He knows that we're not going to be perfect. He's not expecting perfection, but for us to aim for perfection, if that makes sense. How close can I get to it? And I think that's something that's also very important as we build our relationship with him. But people, sisters and brothers of mine, please remember, it's not about religion. You don't have to be a Baptist to have a relationship with God. You don't have to be a Catholic to have a relationship with God. You don't have to be a Muslim. You don't have to be a Jehovah's Witness. You don't have to be Pentecostal. You don't have to be any of these things. You just have to build a relationship with him. That's what you have to do. Build a relationship with him. Read your Bible. Dig deep into your word. And that's something else that I'm going to have to talk about. For me, I literally had to start reading the books of gospel. I had to. And that's when it was broke down to me. No one had ever told me to do that. I have done spiritual counseling. I have talked to pastors as my pastor. I've talked to bishops. I've talked to ministers. No one had said, read those 4 books and see if that helps you. It was just like, just get closer to God, this, that, and other. But I'm telling y'all, for me, it really took me reading the book of Matthew was a great one for me. And I've said these all the time. Mark, just reading those books, those 4 books helped me. And then now I'm diving even deeper in Ruth and Esther and just the different books of the Bible. And and taking different things. And then some people, you may just need to take one verse or maybe one chapter and read that for a week, read that for a day, meditate on it, feel it, and just get into it. Let it be what you want it to look like. It doesn't have to look like your friends. It doesn't have to look like your pastors. Your pastor shouldn't be telling you what you should be. You need to be reading 5 books of the Bible a day. Like, no one should be telling you what your journey should look like. Can they give you encouragements and give you suggestions about it? Yes. What they should be telling you is build your relationship with God. Some of the ways that you can do it is X, Y, Z. But they should not just be, this is the way you have to do it to get closer to God. If you don't do it this way, it's not going to work. No one should be telling you that. That is not how he wants us to draw people closer to him. And that's what makes people think that they're disappointing God. That's what gives all of that confusion and things like that. And I don't think that a lot of people realize that are teaching the word and pouring into people. And I think that's what, and when I think about it in my head now, that's why God has had so many prophets and so many people that go out and do evangelism and all of those things and just speaks the word, because we're so easily to get influenced and confused. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna give this person this gift and this person this gift, and I'm gonna have this person speak like this about it and this person speak like that about it. And then I'm gonna have this person, I'm gonna have a church here, a church there, a church here. And then I'm just gonna have people going out and talking about it. And then I'm gonna also create social media so people are talking about it through all of this technology and things. And I'm gonna also have it where they can do this and they can do that, and everybody can just get all these different views and all these different ways that they can just, get the knowledge. And whomever they're able to pull those nuggets from is who they're able to pull it from. Like, he didn't give so many people these gifts just because. It's because everybody interprets things and learns things differently. So if he does it this way, you'll get it from someone who you can relate to. You'll get it from someone who you can understand, especially if you're going to him before and after. And that's what a lot of prophets will tell you. That's what a lot of them will tell you. They will say, whatever word I am giving you, go to God. Take it to God. Take me to God. Don't just go off of what I'm saying. And that's even with me when I'm pouring into you and take it to God. Take it to God for clarification. Never believe what another person that walks the face of this earth, that has just regular flesh or regular human. Don't just take their word. Take it to God, whatever is said to you. And before I watch anything, because God speaks to me through YouTube, and I've never just said that out loud, but he definitely does. A lot of my learning, a lot of my teaching, like I told y'all, I first started going to church when I started building my faith and just walking with him. I started going online on YouTube, right? So a lot of my teaching does come from him speaking to me through YouTube, and it's just certain people. Like, it's certain people, prophets and stuff like that, or people that's just speaking his word that I have to look at more than others. And that's what I have learned. Like, again, Bold for Christ, her. That's somebody, like, every day I know that it's intentional for me to watch videos from her, because when I pray and I ask God, okay, I have a little confusion right here and I need this. I need to understand. I don't know. And I'm doing all of those things. Please just give me knowledge with this. He will lead me to scripture, and he will most of the time lead me to one of her videos. And it's been so intense that here lately I've been going through, and I do have a story that I will tell, but it's not time for me to tell it right now. But right now I'm just going through a whole lot. And he's really, really been leading me to her, and not just her, but a couple of videos that she has, that she made recently, as in the last couple of weeks, that would just with what I'm going through. That's really, really, really deep for me right now. And he's led me to certain videos a couple of times where I'm just watching them over and over and over and over and over. And each time I'm getting a little bit more nuggets that he wants me to have. So, and some people are saying, oh, well, you can't. Yes, you can. Stop letting people put you in a box with how God is speaking to you. No one can tell you what your journey with God looks like. And I really want you guys to remember that. Also remember, it's not about religion. It's about the relationship that you have with him. What are you doing? Are you giving him your time? Are you sitting with him? Because, like, for me, first thing I do in the morning is sit with God. Right now, y'all, I think it's like it's early in the morning. I do know that it is right now it's like, I'm trying to see what time it is. Yeah. Right now it's 5:13. I have been up since 3:30. And since I've been up, it's been with God. I've been up since about 3:30 and it's 3:13 a.m. now. I mean, excuse me, 5:13 a.m. I've been up since about 3:30 a.m. And I do end my day with him, but I struggle a little bit harder at night. And then I do try to apply him throughout my day. Somehow I got to get something in. But in the morning is my longest time with him. And it's days where literally most of my day is with him, especially on the weekends, or if I'm on break, or if God tell me, today you're not working, or the next 2 days I need you to put in your time. Most of those days when I do that, I notice I'm just literally in my room with God for majority of the day. I'm not like going out and doing I'm not doing any of that. It's just like I'm with God. And it's so intense now where even Leisha is she's doing the same thing. Like she'll just be in her space for half the day, writing, reading the Bible, doing positive things to pour into herself because she sees that I'm doing it. And it's causing her to do it because she's learning from me. But you know what I also had to do? I had to pray for that. I had to pray for that. So that is what that intimacy with God looks like, and sitting with God. And like I said, it's not just all about just praying and reading the Bible. Sometimes we have to be silent. I'm silent with God every single morning, where I'm just sitting, laying back and listening. I lay back and sometimes I get something and I cover my head, or sometimes I just sit and I just look up at the ceiling, and sometimes I just sit and I just have my eyes closed and I just sit in it and I just see, what is it that you need to say to me? What do I need you to say to me? Let's connect right now, God. Like those are all the things that I do and that's what made me grow where I could hear him. Because at first it was just like, I guess I can explain it like imagination, because that did pop up in a word that I said. It was like I was using my imagination and I would be kind of like, is that him? I think that's him. Or is that me? Is that what I'm feeling? Is that what God is saying? And then that became clearer, like, no, that's not you. That's God. And how it became clearer to me, because I would literally be in my head thinking, and I would be like, do I feel like that though? Like what I just kind of felt in my head or think I heard, or do I feel like that? What I'm thinking, do I feel like that? And I'm like, no, I really feel like this, or do I want that? And that's when I was like, no, that's God, because that is something opposite of what I would technically think or do. So I'm walking by faith and not by sight, even in my head, right? And then the more I just sat in silence with him, like not talking, and Camila is a talker, as y'all can see. So that was one of the hard things, was me not saying anything and just laying back, listening, not saying nothing, and just literally listening to him. And then I started hearing him softly speaking. And I remember when people would say, God is soft spoken. It's like a whisper. He's not going to be yelling and screaming at you, you know. And I'm like, so is that him, or is that me just thinking that's him because people said he was soft? You know, like all of those things will go through your head. But the more you just keep going, sitting with him and being intimate with him and making him a priority, the clearer it will come that, yes, this is him. Right. So just remember, it's not about religion. It's about the relationship that you have with him. How you build that relationship is by sitting with him, praying, reading the word, and also allowing people to teach you. You know, everyone is teachable. No one is exempt from that. But praying for clarity about who you think God has sent to help you grow with him. Because sometimes we can think it's certain people and it's not, okay? But again, Camila, love each and every one of you. And I hope this helps somebody. I hope this blessed somebody. It's a little bit longer than what I am from making it about religion. Make it about your relationship with God. Sometimes you will fail, but it's okay because you just have to take a makeup test. Do it again. Retake the test. You got this. I promise you. God will not reject you. He loves you regardless. He loves you regardless. But I love each and every one of you. Have a great Friday. Try to have a great weekend. And Camila, we'll see you a little bit later. And Camila loves all of you. And remember to allow God to be your navigation to your life. He will not steer you wrong. He has you covered. He has you covered. Follow him. Walk by faith and not by sight. You ain't gonna know what it looks like, but you got it because he has you. I love each and every one of you. Happy Friday again.